you were gonna say something.
Yeah, okay, so I just started recording. Okay, so unfortunately, today we are making this video because of a very, very sad reason. So, of course, I mean, if you've been using the internet, or if you use the internet on a daily basis, and you're an anime fan or a manga fan, you know what just happened. We don't even need to tell you. However, if you don't know, so the Kentaro Miura, the mangaka of Berserk, passed away on May 6th, but we just got the news yesterday, May 20th. Oh, well, May 20th. It's May 20th is right now. We just got the news like 12 hours ago. And unfortunately, this is not a joke. We like
Yeah,
there have been jokes in the past about Miura passing away while playing Idolmaster, but unfortunately, this time we just it's yeah, that's all I can like there are no words to like describe this news. I guess I'd
I
say.
when I woke up, it was like I got a message from a friend who, told me that Mira passed away, and I he wouldn't joke about such a thing, but I was still, praying it's a joke. So I went online, and when I saw it, it was like I don't know how to describe it. Just articles upon articles talking about his death on Google.
Yeah,
It was a lot to take in.
yeah.
Not even, obviously, Berserk, such a huge influence, my favorite manga ever. But it's just like it's tragic. Still, he passed away at 54. Even if he wrote anything else, it would still be an absolute tragedy, and it's very sad what happened.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, let's just say you don't know what manga's like and you're coming from another side of YouTube. So, in context, Miura is like the Stan Lee of the manga world. Just to keep it in context. He's like the Stan Lee. So if like when like how people reacted when Stan Lee died, that's how people are reacting now. That's how people in the manga industry are reacting to his death. That's how tragic it is, and that's how great it is. So this is also
I
raises another
mean,
issue. Like, okay, so this is why I wanted to like bring something forth. Okay, you go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say it's not just even you have all creators. I've seen so many creators, coming out to pay homage to Miura. So, firstly there was obviously Kanada Keika on Twitter, the creator of Fadamoru, tweeting about it. You've told me, although I haven't seen it for myself, that Yoko Taro also tweeted about it.
Yes.
And just thinking about it, those two and Miyazaki, even Miyazaki of FromSoft, it's insane how much of my favorite fiction and your favorite fiction too was inspired by Berserk. It's
Yeah.
actually insane.
Yeah, I mean, go look at Drakengard. Drakengard has like Berserk written all over it, Guts written all over it. Like, go to Dark Souls. Dark
Yeah,
Souls is like heavy Berserk inspiration. Just go ask Miyazaki in any interview; he'll say it himself. And
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh okay, this raises another issue as well. Like when it comes, I don't want to get into like the structure of the manga industry here because that is a topic for a completely separate video, but this also raises a concern about hiatuses with mangakas. Like in the past, we would joke about how artists or mangakas like Togashi would play Dragon Quest all day and be lazy as hell, but that is not the case. Let's just be real. That is not the case. These are actual humans who have their own lives, and they are getting old. Just so you keep in mind, they're like in their 50s and their 60s now. So
I
it just
wanna
go ahead.
I wanna talk about like the general response to the situation. So when I got the news, I went on my timeline and people were really supportive for the most part. But the amount of just disgusting jokes and stuff you get to see about his death were really disturbing. And one person posted on Twitter that if you do see such a disgusting joke, you should just block it and move on instead of quote tweeting it because that just brings attention to it and it kind of hurts everyone. which is a sentiment I very much agree with.
Yes, like some people are going on and saying, why did Miura die? Why couldn't it be Togashi? I mean, what? Like that's not a type of mindset you should be putting into this sort of event. I mean, come on, I mean, come on. Like let's just say that it was Togashi and someone said, why couldn't it be Miura? Like let's just say hypothetically it was the other way around, you would feel greatly offended. Like let's not go ahead and pull other mangakas into this. I mean, look at it this way. Mangakas do get overworked from every now and then, not every now and then, frequently, and they have to take breaks. I mean, look at Miura. He was taking so many breaks, but he was trying his utmost best to like get a chapter published every year or every other year. And same thing goes with other mangakas, like the mangaka Vinland Saga, then Hunter x Hunter, and there is even Hajime no Ippo. In fact, just a quick note, the author of Hajime no Ippo also tweeted out, especially since Miura was an assistant of assistant to the author of Hajime no Ippo back in the old days, as far as I know.
Was he the one who wrote? I'll read the final
Yeah,
chapter when I come to the. Yeah, that was the one that really hit me.
he drew the
That
school
was
building. He drew the school building in Hajime no Ippo in one of the panels.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. There was a whole message about it, translated by, I suppose, a fan or something, stating that he was recounting his history and the knowledge of Miura. It was a very, very, very touching, very heartfelt.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, it left a big impact on me, I'll be honest. I've just kinda. Every time I remember some of my favorite moments in Berserk, it just. My face contorts in pain. It's. It's really hard to describe how it feels. Especially because it's a. It's a person you don't know, and it's kinda hard to explain why you're so affected by the death of someone who you don't know. But it is the way it is.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, unfortunately, Miura had to be the first victim of this whole hiatus trend. Unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't matter that he did not finish Berserk. I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't. What matters is that even if he finished Berserk and he died now, it would still be just as much of a tragedy, just as much of an unfortunate news. Like, it's a shame that we won't ever get to read the ending of of like one of the most brilliant creations of the 20th/21st century. But at the same time, it's just sad overall. I mean, he was 54 years old, and of course, I think he had family. I do not clearly know, but I do know that he might have had family. And of course, in regards to that, our condolences go out to his family. I mean, if anyone is suffering the most, it's definitely his family at the moment. Definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so would you maybe like to turn this into just a bit of a tangent on some of our favorite moments in Berserk? Kind of like a tribute of sorts.
Sure, why not? I mean, this is Miura's legacy after all, so...
So, one of the most immediately captivating scenes I want to say is the Bonfire of Dreams. Although that one has been talked about a lot. I don't know, when it comes to like scenes in Berserk, I kind of mostly go with the flow, and most of my favorite scenes are the favorite scenes of other people too, and it's kind of it's just kind of uh, just knowing that you won't ever get like one of those insane peaks that Miura was known for. Kind of tragic.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I'm just kind of choking here, really, like... I mean, when you think of these scenes right now, it's just so different, especially since... like, delving into... Like, if you reread Berserk now, you won't have the same experience you had the first time. Like, if you're reading Berserk when Miura was alive, it was a different experience, but reading Berserk now, it's going to be more of a tearjerker than anything.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I'm just thinking about, Guts theme
Oh
and how
god.
different it's gonna feel listening to it now.
And
Because it was that theme, was so sad that it essentially became like a meme metaphor for depression, and
yeah,
now it's gonna hit especially hard, especially hard.
and another meme was the pen pal song. I don't know if I can ever quote the pen pal song ever again. Like, just saying "Tell Me Why" now is gonna bring me bad. Is gonna bring me like, damn, Miura is no more. He is no longer alive. Damn. That's the only memory that's gonna come to my mind now as soon as I quote "Tell Me Why." Like that used to
Yeah,
be
I know.
such a meme. Like we would use it as a joke, but can
I mean, we literally have a Discord channel named after it because of how much we enjoyed the opening. So yeah, especially that song.
you know what though? This reminds me of last year. Like last year, around this time last year, you were so excited that Berserk's new chapter was going to get released sometime around the summer, and I was hoping the same thing would happen this year. But well, I mean
Guess not.
that's not.
Guess not.
I mean we were well. Guess at this point we're never going to have another chapter, and well, this panel over here is going to be all that remains as the ending.
Yeah,
Unless, and of course, someone else decides to end the series.
I still think the series is absolutely phenomenal where it left off.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
most of the
of course, it had its flaws. Let's be honest. I mean, we did complain about some of the flaws, but overall, I do not think that the quality of Berserk ever deteriorated much. I mean,
no, no, it did not.
if Miura, okay, if Berserk ever finished, let's say a what if, I would have rated Berserk more critically. But since Miura isn't here to finish it, I I have to give it the best I can give it, and that would be the highest rating on my list. Berserk officially gets a 10 from me because
I mean, it was, as you know, a 10 for me ever since I caught up. I believe I caught up 2 years ago, and ever since then, I reread it once. And if you'll remember, I was like sending you live Discord messages of my reading impressions. And I don't know if you recall, but I read all of Golden Age in one day.
yeah,
That's
I
how
remember
good it
that.
was.
I remember that.
Yeah, you were calling me a madman back then on my reread.
Ah, the
I
memories.
do not think it was a bit of a doozy for me, just thinking which I like more between, Golden Age, Chimera Ant, or maybe even Twilight of the Golden Witch from Umineko, and all of those are undoubtedly like perfect arcs. But
Peak fiction
I
arcs.
I think if I reread Golden Age now, it would just like hit me on an entirely different level.
Truly, without a doubt. I mean, Golden Age arc, even like I think I went through the Golden Age arc like twice. Actually no, actually I did go through it twice. I think because I was reading the manga. Okay. The first my first experience with the Golden Age arc was not that great. Like I did not go through it that well, but my second experience with it was from the movie, which by the way is not all that great. I mean, if you want a better
No,
experience, but go watch the 1997 anime. I would say.
1997 anime is exactly what I'm about to watch because I never actually saw it. My first experience with Berserk was the manga, and I reread it 2 times, and I watched the movie trilogy, but I never touched the 97 Berserk, which is my next pit stop on the Berserk journey. And yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it'll be the final one.
Unfortunately, like even saying that, it's oh God, man, oh God.
Yeah, I'm just.
Uh,
Although the community is extremely supportive, like this is the First time in a while that I logged on Twitter and everyone was, more or less on the same page, which is nice to see.
Yeah,
No toxicity,
the,
just
there are some
everyone.
toxic ones. I mean, undoubtedly there are some toxic ones, but there are not as many toxic ones as there are supportive ones. Fortunately.
Thankfully, they're away from the spotlight this time around, and as as was said previously, I do believe that if you see someone, cracking disgusting jokes, you should just let it go, block them. Don't give them the attention they want. You're just letting them win, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, also, also want to like fetch in another point. Like from this point going forward, I would definitely recommend that if any of your favorite authors are going through a long hiatus, do not try not to complain. Be patient. They're humans as well. Like
Absolutely, I
I think
completely.
if anything, we should also learn from this event that mangakas are humans as well, and we should always respect the decision to take breaks because. I mean, look at many mangakas in the industry. Some of them are like editors, assistants. They're like overworked. Like we can go over a whole separate video on how this whole like hierarchy works, but we won't go through it here because it will turn into more of a critique than like an honor to Miura, and we do not want to do that here. This is going to be all about Miura, not the industry at the moment. So just going forward, support your favorite authors, and if you can buy their merchandise, if you can buy their manga volumes, try to do it. And whenever they're on breaks, try to reassure them. Do not try to spit shit at them. Just know that they have to do this basic stuff as humans as well.
One author I'd like to touch upon, sort of as like a final note of this video, is Ichikawa, the author of Hoseki no Kuni, who was on hiatus for, I believe, a few months now, ever since the PS5 came out, I believe. And if you know me, you know Hoseki no Kuni is one of
Mm-hmm.
my absolute favorite
And I
manga,
know you've been
and
nagging me to read it as well. Well, which I
yeah,
will get
I
to,
have.
which I'll
I
hopefully get to
please
around
do.
the summer. In the summer, I will hopefully get to it.
And anyway, I just want to say that, like, considering that she's the only author whose work I'm reading that's on hiatus right now, I just hope whenever she chooses to continue the story, or if she chooses to continue the story even, that she'll do it on her own terms and that she'll come back healthy and, take care of herself, because that's what matters the most in the end.
Indeed, indeed.
Uh,
I suppose that's all we have to say. So yeah. Well, I definitely know we two are atheists. We do not really believe in heaven or afterlife or any of that stuff. But hey, if there exists some kind of supernatural phenomenon out there that we do not know of, and well, Kentaro Miura, if you're watching this, we just want to say thank you for your work. Thank you for revolutionizing
Thank
manga
you.
in the 20th
Thank you
century.
for Berserk.
Thank
Thank you.
thank you for all the good memories, and thank you for making our nihilistic, edgy ass and miserable lives a bit better. Hope you find more hope you find something worthwhile where you are now. Goodbye and rest in peace.
Farewell. Rest in peace.